Hallo und herzlich willkommen bei Rock Hard TV. Wir sind in Gebäude 9 in Köln und heute Abend spielt Wolfe und BRUTUS, die jetzt gerade Soundcheck machen. Und ja, wir hören jetzt mal, wie es Wolfe so geht und gehen mal zu ihren Tourbus.
Hello. How are you doing so today? You're on the road almost 6 weeks? Or how long?
Yeah, it's a pretty long one, 6 weeks. Yeah. Correct.
Is it okay to be so long from home, or is it even good to be so long far from home?
I think 6 weeks is maybe a little too long, if I'm honest, just because I think everyone is like crammed in this small space for a long time, and you're just constantly like working. So I don't know, maybe a little shorter would be good.
Tour is 6 weeks long, and you brought another band called BRUTUS. Was it a change of the booking agency, or did you choose them yourself, or how does it work?
Oh yeah, we're actually on the same record label on Sargent House, and when we were planning this tour, we were trying to find people that were friends or people that were related somehow in the music.
I brought a few, almost every cover from your records. So maybe we can talk a little bit about the artworks, because I think each one is unique and maybe and somehow connected to the music on the records. Yeah. And maybe you can tell us something about how the covers are have been made and what's the intention maybe about it.
Yeah, I mean, I do like to connect the album artwork with the music for sure. So there's definitely an element of that. So the grime and the glow, a lot of this record was really just like me going around with different friends in my hometown and setting up like an 8-track recorder and just kind of like making one-off songs, and that was like the recording that made it to the album. So it was important for me to like work with close friends. My good friend Jessalyn Wakefield made this. I was really influenced by the Seventh Seal and the character of Death in the Seventh Seal, so obviously this is very like emblematic, like the character of Death was in that movie with that photo of him holding his arm out. I just always was so drawn to that and wanted to kind of do my version of it, so that's what that is.
Okay, second record. It actually looks almost like a painting, but it isn't. It's still a photograph. But I like the way that you have to think about it if it's a photograph or it is a painting, and still no logo or title on this one.
Yeah, and it's a bit of mixed media because it was a self-portrait that I took and then kind of adjusted the colors, and then I gave it to my friend Christopher Orr, who plays in this cool band Screecher, to white out the eyes, because he always kind of like makes really cool collages and drawings and paintings and things like that. So yeah, I asked him if he would white out the eyes for me, just because I wanted to have him involved and have someone else involved. This album was really a lot about having epiphanies and revelations. So like the whited out eyes was supposed to be this moment of revelation, like right when the meteor hits the earth or something, like this moment of like, oh. So yeah, that's kind of what that represents.
The next one is from the acoustic collection. I think it's pretty close to maybe the feeling that you can have if you're listening to this at home, maybe. So.
Okay. No, that's cool. Yeah, my longtime friend and photographer Kristen Kofer took this one. We actually went to this like semi-abandoned hotel that used to be a brothel in the Bay Area in California, and we basically had the whole hotel to ourselves. And each room is named after like a woman who used to work there in the brothel. So it really did feel haunted, and you could kind of like feel the presence of these women and their stories. So we just went around from room to room and was just kind of like, you know, lounging around and taking photos and feeling out the space. And yeah.
This one is quite different because it's almost like a little bit. It reminds me of the singer-songwriter album covers back in the days, like the ones from maybe Nick Drake or something like that, where just he's on the cover and is not looking into the camera, and I think it's my second favorite one. This one because I don't know, it's kind of glamorous, but also maybe a little sad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with this one, I think it was the first time where I wasn't obscuring myself in some way, you know, with the eyes or my hand or whatever. And I wanted to kind of start owning the fact that I do this as a career and I'm on stage, but I'm still uncomfortable with it. And, you know, I still am now, and I was at this time. So there's like, I wanted to have this feeling of like someone on stage with the spotlight on them, but they're still kind of, you know, coming to terms with that position. So yeah, there's some glamour in there, but also some sadness and pain, I think.
Then from the Abyss record, I think it's the first record where you used more electric guitars.
Yeah, this was painted by a really lovely Norwegian self-taught oil painter named Henrik Oldalen. And I was really inspired by that classic painting, The Nightmare. A lot of this album had to do with my journeys through sleep paralysis and night terrors and different things over the years, insomnia. So I wanted it to kind of feel like I was floating through this abyss or this like sleep realm that I couldn't kind of get out of. And yeah, I don't know if like the cover art really reflects like the change in tone, you know, with guitars and stuff like that, but it has a lot to do with like the theme of the record for sure.
Sometimes the cover looks like she could jump every moment, you know, you're just like about to do something, but you don't know what, and so it's kind of reflecting the record because it's slightly mellow and then suddenly it explodes, and I think it's my favorite record musically as well. So
thanks so much, that's rad. Yeah, I mean, I think it's like definitely the most fully realized one. You know, as I get older and as I become more comfortable in my own skin as an artist and as a musician, you know, I'm able to like fully realize my ideas and my vision more, which is, you know, exciting. And so I really wanted to like put that into the cover artwork. This was, as they all are, they're kind of collaborations with different artists. This album's a lot about like embracing the mess of yourself and embracing your feral side as a human being and as a woman, for me personally. So I wanted to kind of have this cornered feeling. I actually had a dream once where I was like a tiger in a glass cage, and it's like everyone was staring at me, but I couldn't find a way to hide. So sometimes I feel like that on tour, you know, because as I said, I'm still kind of not always comfortable being on stage and constantly being in front of people. So yeah, I think, like you said, there's this feeling of just like this person growling, you know, this creature growling in the corner, and like she might jump at any moment. So.
And last but not least, a little bonus cover, maybe the collaboration you did with King Dude, and yeah, that's a very different kind. The cover where not you are only on the cover, but him as well. So how did it happen that you are making music together?
My very first show in Los Angeles, or maybe my very first album release show in Los Angeles for the Rahmen and the Glow, he played with me, so we met that night and just kind of became instant friends. And I think the collaboration just kind of happened naturally. Like I think it was his suggestion at first, like, why don't we just try to write some songs together? And so we did the first one, and then this was the second one, obviously. This was shot by a mutual friend, Angel Ceballos, who's really great. And yeah, we just kind of got together as we were recording it, and I think it was his idea to do this pose. We used to tell people that we were brother and sister, which is also his idea, but I went along with it just because I like to play tricks on people sometimes. You can't make it too easy for everyone. And yeah, I don't know, it just kind of came together naturally, and it made a cool shape for the cover.
Okay.
I don't know what else to say about that one, but there you go.